What is going on, Thumbthumbs? This is Swampert 2 bringing you guys a draft analysis video. Very, very shocking for me to be saying this for the PGL Season 1. Now, you might be asking yourself, PGL? Wait, they've had a lot of seasons. Why is it Season 1? Well, from my understanding, just PGL's under new ownership, and so they decided to start it fresh and start off with PGL Season 1. If you guys saw my channel earlier in the year, about 5 months back, we have participated in PGL NU off-season, or like NU Season 1. So through that experience, alongside BLAZIN SQUID, you guys should know SQUID on my channel by now. We we had an absolute blast. I ended up going 7-1. SQUID ended up going 8-1. Guess who I lost to? It gave me my one loss. That was a BLAZIN SQUID. So no, SQUID and I had an absolute blast. I love the PGL so much. However, initially when it came time to come back to the PGL for this Season 1, I unfortunately couldn't. Just where it was for recruiting, and then when the draft was taking place, just did not fit in my schedule whatsoever as far as school. So because of that, I actually turned down Trexo, who was the owner of PGL. And once I started to see who was joining PGL, I started to get really jealous. I'm not gonna lie. The people that started to join PGL, like I've followed for so long, I'm such huge fans of. Fanboying here for a second, my apologies, but yeah. So I just let Trexo know, hey, if there ever is an opening, I'm there, you know, just in case. And come week 1, unfortunately, Gerhardt and the Seattle Seahawks, he had to step down from the PGL, which is unfortunate for him, but Trexo approached me, and I absolutely said yes without hesitation. It was like one of those like moments where like there was no pure thought, it was just instinct to say yes to come back to PGL, because PGL is so much fun. It's that, like I said back in my NU videos, it's that first draft league outside of LDL, out of TLTPG, and on top of that, BLAZIN SQUID and my buddy Jetman92, or Jetman99, Jetman99, there we go. I don't know why I said 92. Jetman99, they are both joining me alongside my brothers from TLTPG, are joining me with PGL Season 1. But enough of that. Like I said, I am taking over a team. It is now right before week 2, so we're not losing that much time in the season. But from the team that Gerhardt had, it was an incredible team. In fact, the irony in this team is actually so beautiful. The fact that I got to take over this team. So I'm definitely going to be leaving Gerhardt's channel down below. I got that idea from Aaron, who's also Aaron 2420, who's also in the league as well. So I saw that video. I thought that was a really good way to shout out the previous coach, who unfortunately had to step down. So I'm going to plug both of them down in the description below. But his team was very, very cool. It was a rain center team, but as we go along, I'm not sure what the order was as far as the draft, so I'm just going just the way I see, just from high tier to low tier. So there's a mega pick, of course, there's a tier 1, a tier 2, 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, a tier 5, and then 4 free agency picks that were allowed through the draft. Like I said, it was a phenomenal team. Just some things I wanted to tweak around. I used all my trades right away, right before, so come week 3, I'll be able to use them. Week 2, we will battle with the team that Gerhardt originally drafted, just so there's no confusion with my opponent, who, ironically, as well, is Aaron 2420. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. My thoughts on the whole team, and what I will say, the team that I am showing is the team that will be finalized. Will be everything that once it's traded over. So this is my team. I'll talk about the Pokemon that were there before, and why I decided to get rid of them, or why I felt like it didn't fit the team. But guys, like I said, this is a rain team. There's only one Mega, only one beautiful Mega that can fit a rain team. Ladies and gentlemen, our Mega for this season is actually going to be Mega Swampert, our Armstrong. Oh my gosh, the hype is so real. when I saw this team and I saw that Mega Swampert was at the core, I was ecstatic. You guys have no idea how long I've wanted to run a rain team with Mega Swampert because that's my mascot. It's my mascot for our team, of course, and I just love Mega Swampert's design. It's such a beautiful mon, such a powerful mon. I'm pulling up the stats right here just to kind of talk about it. Mega Swampert was so awesome to see. It's got base 100 HP, base 150 attack, alongside a 110 defense and special defense. Are you kidding me? That's absolutely wild. Not to mention, if I wanted to, in fact, run this thing special, it has base 95 special attack as well. The only thing that hinders Mega Swampert is its speed of base 70. However, being that it is a rain team built around Mega Swampert, its speed doubles with Swift Swim, so that base 70 now becomes base 140. That is so crazy. This mon is so powerful, and I'm hoping that I can actually use this team to my advantage. Using a rain team is so new to me, and so I'm hoping I can do Mega Swampert justice. Ironically enough, if you guys go ahead and catch Squid's, BLAZIN Squid's team recap, he actually has a Sun team based around Mega Houndoom. The compatibility that we seem to have is next level, like seriously. But no, Mega Swampert's so awesome. You got things like, of course, Waterfall, Earthquake, Ice Punch, Hammer Arm, Power Up Punch is even a possible moveset. It's a Stealth Rock setter already. Of course, at times where Weakness 2 Grass is a huge problem. However, I will say, we have so many things on our team to benefit Mega Swampert in that regard, that I could not get rid of this Mega. This Mega was so awesome. I mean, it's the whole reason why it's a whole Pokemon I designed my whole entire Draft League format around. So, you got to love Mega Swampert. Okay, I need to stop talking and just start moving on. Up next, let's see, where's my button? Up next, for Tier 1, we have Tornadus Therian, or, how do I say this? How did she say it? Hold on. I can't say it from here. Torzondas. That's right. Torzondas. I got the nickname from someone very special. So Torzondas, apparently it's like a type of storm in Africa, Zondas or something like that. So that's where the name came from. Tornadus Therian is such a good Tier 1 pick. I actually, the same day that I picked up the team from Trexo, or Trexo asked me to come back to PGL, I was actually thinking, next season for something, I should pick up Tornadus Therian. Tornadus Therian. It's a really good mod. I would really like to try it, and lo and behold, here we go. Paired up with Mega Swampert, it's really nice. Definitely helps with that grass weakness, ice weakness for ice and electric weakness alongside. Tornadus is handled by Mega Swampert easily. The ability to have Regenerator, U-Turn, Knockoff, Heat Wave, Hurricanes. Because it's a rain team, we do have rain setters. Being able to hit 100% Hurricanes is phenomenal, believe me, you. A Defogger as well. It's just this very solid mon, and I will say, having a mon that's such high tier at base 121 speed definitely gives us the edge over so many different mons that are base 100, base 105, base 115, even base 120. Like, I love this mon and its speed tier. The fact that it is this fast, I do not know why, but it's coming through. It's definitely coming through. I love the fact that I get to use this Pokemon finally, and the fact that it's only flying type, having so very few limited weaknesses, benefits us more so than if it had a secondary typing. At least in my opinion. Onto the next mon now. Like I said, we need a rain setter to complement this rain team, and who better to set up the rain than that Nexus the Pelipper. Huge fan of Nexus. Like, seriously, I'm just such a huge fan. One of my favorite content creators out there. And, Pelipper does its job. Getting Drizzle as of Sun and Moon, I think it was so helped this thing out so much. Giving it access to 100% Hurricanes for itself. This thing can U-turn as well. This thing has Roost, Defog for itself. It's honestly a second degree, or like an off degree. I don't know how you would say that. It's like Offside Tornadus. Except with that water typing, now we do have two dual types with flying and water with it. However, debating between this and Politoed, I just figured that Hurricane in the long run hits so much harder. There's a lot of different fun things I can do with Pelipper outside of the rain as well. That I would really prefer to use this over Politoed, because Politoed's mainly used for defensive. Pelipper can be offensive, it can be defensive, it can be a stall set. So many awesome things to do with Pelipper, so I decided to keep Pelipper. So these first 3 months have been on the team since the beginning. There's no changing them. Coming up is where we do start to have a couple of different changes. I was allowed either a tier 1 or a tier 2 trade. There was no full-on trades with open trades with all my trades. Just that there was one specifically designed for either tier 1 or tier 2. And so for my next tier 2 pick, I decided to go ahead, start making some good resistance and start building like a good core in some sense. And you always got to have a decent electric type. I always got to start a Fairy Steel Dragon core, in my opinion. The fact I didn't have one at this point was actually just going down. It's like, oh, that's so weird. I don't usually draft this way going down the tier list, but nonetheless, this Pokemon is phenomenal. It ruined, I think, LDL Week 2 for me. Yeah, LDL Week 2 for me. But welcome, X-Files, the Magnezone. Yeah, so the Pokemon that was originally in this place was Kartana, which is surprising that Kartana was actually tier 2. I definitely would have put that thing tier 1 in my opinion, but that's besides the fact. Kartana, it's a very, very powerful Mon base, 109 speed, has a very wide moveset. It just didn't have that extra oomph that I needed. The electric type that was on the team, which I'll get into later, was not something I'm really used to having. So looking through the different tiers, what was still open to draft, Magnezone popped up, and I was so happy to see it. It's such a very fun Pokemon. Like, it can be run with Air Balloon to prevent that weakness to ground from being hit. Which we do cover really nicely with our three previous Mons that I just mentioned. 2 of them immunity, 1 of them resist. This thing, Scarf or Specs, just absolutely demolishes opponents with that base 130 special attack stat. Being base 60 is actually not that bad. We can play it around it if anyone wants to try and run Trick Room around us. Trick Room is very actually nice for Magnezone, which is really weird to say, but other than that, for its abilities, we get stuff like Sturdy, we get Magna-Pull, and if we do want to run it a bit slower, we have Analytic, which does boost its power if it does move last. So if you're able to build a decently bulky set that hits hard, then so be it. But it was just a different Mon. I always looked at it and just thought Magnezone was really cool. And I just felt it fit the team a little bit better than Kartana, because I already do have a grass type on the team, and I'm not one to really repeat a lot of typings, but you do see I do have to repeat a couple typings throughout the draft to make things work for me. So you might hate me for doing some of the things I do, but it's all good. That's all good. Magnezone was our first big trade from Tier 2. Moving on into Tier 3, a Pokemon I love near and dear to my heart. It's going to be Sugar Plum, our Gardevoir. She's in the Sugar Plum play. She's not exactly Black Swan with her Mega. She needs to work on her dance moves a little bit more, but still, Sugar Plum, the Gardevoir, is so awesome. Still a very, very powerful Mon. Instead of running Hyper Voice, of course, we run Moonblast, which honestly is almost just as good, if not a little bit better in some sense, to be able to get that special attack drop on Mega Gardevoir, base 80 speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, base 80 speed, and alongside that, being able to run Trace or Synchronize is really, really cool. We'll be able to trace different abilities, like even a Beast Boost against opponents, or maybe something that'll really, I don't know, just something weird would really be cool, like a download from a Porygon, or, I don't know. Trace is a really cool ability to bring every now and then. Synchronize is what I really, really like. If we get burned, if we get paralyzed, any kind of status that we get will be bounced back onto the opponent, so I really, really like that, especially with things like Toxic, because this thing, while it can be very, very offensive, alongside Magnezone, it can be pretty bulky as well. I mean, it's a Heal Bell user, it's a Wish Passer if we want. It can also do Healing Wish, which is really, really cool. And I saw Blazing Squid do a lot with this a couple seasons back for another season of LDL, I want to say. And so I'm very, very excited to be using Sugar Plum. It gives us a fairy type as a part of that fairy dragon steel core. So it's looking really good, and a very, very powerful psychic type to boot. Moving on, let's see. Moving on, yes. Okay, so throughout this team, initially, Gearheart did not have a fire type, which I totally understood because, you know, you have a rain team. But still, it's just like, there's one of those things, it's like, I need that fire type that can somewhat be okay in the rain, but be okay outside of the rain, of course. I was looking around, there was a couple awesome things that stood out. However, I saw this Pokemon and I knew I just had to have it. It really can stand next to Mega Swampert in as far as a wall breaker or as a huge offensive threat. Definitely not the fastest speed, but still, nonetheless, it can honestly take advantage of the rain as well if I really wanted it to. So please, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Baconator, the Emboar. Such a scary mon, I'm not gonna lie. Has two incredible abilities in Blaze and Reckless, and yes, I do say two incredible abilities. Do not hate on Blaze. That is how Blazing Squid got his name. If you guys want to know that story, let me know down in the comments. But no, Reckless on top of that just allows moves like Head Smash, Wild Charge, to hit so hard. Flare Blitz as well for stab, close combat. This thing is such a... this is a fat piggy. This is a fat piggy, and he's gonna put some work in. You got base 110 HP, 123 attack. Are you kidding me? This thing is destroying lives. And like I said, it can, if I want to, it can take advantage of the rain. This thing gets scalded somehow, if I'm not mistaken. Does it? Let me double check this. Yes, this fat piggy somehow gets scalded. Baconator is here. Not to only clog your arteries, but to end lives. I thought it was just a really cool Pokemon. I almost, between this, it was either this or Blaziken that I wanted to put in this spot. However, just knowing that Emboar did get Skull just kind of sold me on it, because I feel like that's just an awesome extra tech that I could use alongside Emboar. Running this, Assault Vest, Banded, Specs, like I have so many different options for Baconator. It's really awesome. It excites me. It excites me to be able to use this Pokemon. Not to mention, its shiny is really great. I'm definitely going to be using this thing shiny. Other than that, the Pokemon I did swap out for this, I did drop Savali, which actually was, like, these next two picks that I did choose, it wasn't because not because I wanted to, it's because I felt like I needed to. When I looked at Gearheart's team originally, no offense to Gearheart, it was a phenomenal team. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to face a Aeron tomorrow using Gearheart's team that he drafted. But in my play style, while I do want to abuse the rain like no tomorrow, I feel like my team needs the ability to run rain and not rain. There has to be... Like, I have to keep my opponents guessing whether or not I do decide to pull, like, bring the Pelipper, bring Mega Swampert, bring the Rain and the Hurricane shenanigans, and then have a team that can't do that, or won't do that. I can definitely bluff it, and that's the thing that I definitely want to keep my opponents guessing with, so with Savali, I mean, Savali's really cool. Savali didn't, I mean, I say all that, then I talk about Savali, it doesn't really, the next pick will make sense about that, but, yeah, Savali, I've always wanted to use it. It can be any type that I want to. Being able to parting shot out is such a cool, different swap technique. It just didn't fit the team. It didn't fit the team for what I needed, and having Baconator here definitely will help now. Up next, you guys, though, for my last, for the next tier 3 pick, that's right, Gardevoir, Baconator, and this next pick, we're all tier 3. This next tier 3 pick finishes off my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, also gives me an extra typing that I do already have on the team. But say hello to Wu-Tang Clan, the Komodo. Let me start by saying, what I drafted for this pick was Kingdra. And that was hard for me to do. That was really, really hard for me to do. I could have honestly kept Kingdra and I would have been perfectly fine because I already had a powerful fighting type. I already had, I would have had my dragon and I would have had something to take over and abuse the rain. However, this would have given me a third water type, and while I do understand the importance and the power that Kingdra has behind it in being in the rain with Swift Swim, it just wasn't for me. Kingdra just wasn't the right fit with how it was redesigning the team. If I had to go back and change it, you know, ask me halfway through the season how I feel. So, but no, Wu-Tang Clan's really cool. Komodo's such an awesome mon. I've loved it since day one when it was announced. I just needed a really awesome dragon type that could be, and alongside this thing can be run physically, offensive, especially offensive. It can be run bulky. It can run Dragon Dance. It has really incredible abilities. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I need to swap this over. With bulletproof, soundproof, definitely blocking stuff like Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Focus Blast, and then soundproof for sound-based moves. So, yeah, I wish I had this thing this week for week 2 because I met a Gardevoir. So having Wu-Tang Clan would have been phenomenal, but unfortunately I don't. But no, just Komodo is so awesome. Can get access to huge range of Z moves. Oh, I didn't mention that. For this whole entire league, it is open Z moves except for Omni boosting Z moves, of course. So Komodo Z is not going to be for us. It's not going to be viable. So unfortunately, that sucks. But still, working with a base 85 speed mon with 110 attack, 100 special attack is awesome. You can definitely tank those hits as a wide move pool, like I said. But will it be better than Kingdra? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I feel like I could have more fun team building with Komodo than I can Kingdra. Moving on for the next pick, I believe I'm dropping down into tier 4 now. I am. Tier 4, we have Miltank, 2%. Shout out back to the NU PGL season. 2% is back. I love Miltank. Such a awesome mon. Has 3 wonderful abilities with Thick Fat, helping us with fire and ice type attacks. We have Scrappy, which allows it to hit ghost types, and then probably the best potential ability that it has to help for our rain team, especially Mega Swampert, is it does get access to Sap Sipper. So Sap Sipper, of course, stops any type of grass type attacks, which is so awesome. It's a stealth rock setter. It has wonderful recovery. Heal Bell user, can set up curses. Like this fat cow, kind of like a fat pig. Our team's fat. Our team is nothing but fat. Miltank is very, very speedy. This thing's base 100 for some reason, and I never understood why. Seriously, could never understand why, but don't be surprised if you see me running an offensive Miltank. I did it in NU season, and by golly, I'm going to do it here. But moving on, another throwback to the PGL NU season, as we're bringing back Lycanroc midday form, Thea. Going around things, this was another trade I did pull. I believe the original Pokemon here was Pangoro. Obviously, I already have 2 fighting types, so Pangoro was definitely going to be dropped. And I was debating whether or not I wanted something more bulky, whether I wanted something, I don't know, something different, something I've used before. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, there's no editing that out. This is one and go, baby. But then I saw Lycanroc, and I realized I didn't have too much priority on my team. If you guys have seen my LDL team, or my LDL season, I had so much priority. Even back in PGL NU season, I had a lot of priority. So the fact I didn't have any priority kind of bugged me. So I saw Lycanroc midday. I know how to use it. I love a Cell Rock. I love that it's base 112 speed. Very, very powerful Pokemon for sure. Something to be feared. Gives us that advantage just barely over those 110s, which is something I love. Definitely helps with any ice types that want to try and mess with my flying types as well. Does not benefit me as far as the grass type weakness for the rain team, but it's all good if it's weak to rocks. You know, we definitely have the coverage there. Water types, there's no sense of firing off a water type attack against me. So they definitely fit the bill. Another stealth rock sitter as well. So I'm happy to see it. Unhappy that it's not the dusk form like we have in LDL right now, but that's besides the point. Up next though, heading into tier 5, keeping this from the original draft Gearhart had, it's going to be Vileplume. And if you guys hear a cat in the background, my apologies. That's what I tried to take care of earlier, but she's being annoying. Vileplume, we got Nuptup, the Vileplume. Such a cool mon. Definitely a new mon for me. Vileplume was one of the mons I really wanted to get rid of, but I just couldn't with how the rest of my trades were going. So I decided to give Vileplume a chance. It's a grass poison type, very bulky. Super bulky. It does get access to Strength Sap, which does lower my opponent's attack by 1 stage and then boosts its Vileplume's HP by the attack stat of the opponent Pokemon. So give me a second. She's going to keep doing this. What better way to make this video even longer? Sorry about that. But no, Strength Sap is really cool. I know Vileplume has given me some problems in the past with different seasons of LDL, so yeah, I don't know. This is like the one mon on the whole team that I'm just not 100% sold on. So I'm hoping Vileplume can, hopefully Nuptup can prove me wrong. The main reason why I did decide to keep it over Kartana was because it was a poison type. I just felt that being able to absorb toxic spikes was a lot better than just the overall power in the long game. Different opponents like to try different strategies. Toxic spikes is definitely one of them, and not being able to absorb toxic spikes definitely hurts us, because as you guys see, I only have defoggers right now. And spoiler alert, that's kind of pretty much how it's going to stay. So when it comes to Nuptup, I needed one way to definitely remove the hazards. So here's hoping that I don't absolutely get blown back if I bring this thing and it's not the end of my existence. But I will say, the fact that it's a poison type, I can automatically land my Toxics. So there's that. But yeah, it's a new mon to definitely try, so we're rolling. We're definitely rolling. And last but not least, the last mon I decided to trade out and pick up was going to be Soul Smasher, our Dusknoir, or Dusknoir, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Soul Smasher, I felt I just needed the extra bulk. I needed a Pokemon that can decently hit back as well, so we got stuff like Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch I think it gets access to. Of course, we have stuff like Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp usage. It does get access to Levitate as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check this. Pressure and Frisk, there we go. So Pressure Stall is actually a really cool idea, as well as Frisk, allowing me to see my opponent's item right away. Definitely get like, seriously, being able to figure out an opponent's item turn 1 of a battle definitely helps you in the throughout the entire battle, because you know how to play around whatever item it's holding. And on top of that, the Pokemon that I traded it out for was Rotom. Like I said earlier, the electric type that worked just didn't fit my playstyle, and it was regular Rotom, not any of its other forms. So with Rotom, it's base 91 speed, gives it that little extra speed boost, but the main way you run Rotom is like a trick Will-O-Wisp set, I think, in the long run, or either that or Toxic as well, one or the other. It just didn't work. I didn't like it with like Choice Scarf, Volt Switch. I didn't want it just to be a Volt Switcher for my electric type. I needed something more, so that's why I went with X-Files. That's why Magnezone's there. So still wanted a wonderful Ghost type. Dusknoir really was there. I wanted Dusclops, however, someone else had it, so I was like, oh, it's whatever. I can still make usage of Dusknoir. So, once again, thank you to Trexo for allowing me to come back. Thank you to Gearhart for setting up the foundation of a wonderful team for me to work with. I did say that for week 2, we unfortunately, not unfortunately, we have to use Gearhart's team that he drafted prior for me facing Aaron, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be putting in the best and the finest amount of work. Right now we are sitting at 0-1, heading into week 2 against Aaron 24-20. That doesn't bother me too much. I started the season for LDL 1-3. And then I went on, like a 9-game streak, so I'm excited. There are many amazing content creators that are here in PGL Season 1 with the revamp, the revamp for PGL, and I'm excited to be a part of it, excited to grow alongside PGL. So if you guys have enjoyed this long team recap, me explaining everything, the cat interruptions, I'm so sorry about that, but she sounds great. I gotta go feed her now. She's 7 minutes, she's like 20 minutes early to be fed anyway. I don't understand. Anyway, anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. If you guys have enjoyed this PGL video, definitely stick around because more PGL content will be coming. Week 2, I believe, will be coming later on this week. So definitely look forward to that. But if you're new here, definitely subscribe. Definitely check out all the other channels and all the other people I mentioned down in the not in the comments, the description down below. I can't speak right. I never can. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Thumbbrother 2, and I'll see you in the next one.